I want to talk to you about the metaverse and your community IP, because this makes you very unique, Raoul. You really have a passionate way of understanding and looking at the communities, which I think you believe is everything, really, going forward, and how the future is these communities. You've touched on it while we've been talking now. You mentioned Doge, you mentioned kind of the Facebook, but then the value over here. You mentioned since it's peer-to-peer and people own it, you mentioned some of the passion behind some of these coins. Talk to me about community. It's such a general word. I don't know if anyone understands it. If you've had a community, you kind of understand it, but it also slips through your fingers too, doesn't it? Because
it does. What did the internet do for you and I? We would have grown up in a town where we knew a lot of the people, and then you go to school and your community is now the school plus the people in your town and your family. Then your community goes, if you go to university, it just moves around. Then you go to a job and you know the bunch of people on your trading floor, if you're working in a bank, whatever, right? And your community grows and you meet your neighbor and you get introduced to somebody else. That's your community. It tends to be physically located around where you are, and you tend to lose connection with your old school friends when you leave. That was the nature of the world that we grew up in.
Yeah, we had to have a car. I had to have a car when I was a kid because that's how I connected to my community. My daughter's 17. I couldn't give her a car because she has a community, right?
That's right. So our community changed in 2010, really. It started earlier with AOL, instant messaging, blah, blah, blah. But really, Facebook changed everything. Because now I could be in a community of people who love Rhodesian Ridgebacks, and it could be a globalized community, and we can just talk about our dogs all day. And that didn't exist before. You would read a magazine, but you didn't have a two-way dialogue. You could write a letter. This now meant that at scale, humans were able to create communities around their interests, their general interests, that didn't have any borders. So it's globalized communities. So that was the rise of social media. Now, communities became so powerful that people developed what's known as the influencer model, which is you create community by giving the community value, whether you're entertaining them or giving them information or education. And in exchange, you'll get money because you've got a lot of followers. And social media created that model. And then brands started doing it and other people started doing it. So even at Real Vision, we actively engage our community on social media. In fact, we built a social media platform called The Exchange for them so they can start posting content and talking, because people want to talk to each other. People don't want to just be broadcast a product, whether it's in video or television, or whether it's in Nike shoes. They want to be part of the people who own those Nike. So then tokens come along, but basically complex adaptive societies, which are what communities are, as are countries, religions, all of these things, they basically operate in the same way. To control large groups of humans, you need a leader, a mission statement, set of rules, and usually a value system. So if you think about religion, which is a classic way of organizing large groups of people, you have a leader, a mission, set of rules. The value in religion tends to be, if you do this, you'll go to heaven. If you do this, you go to hell or get reincarnated, whatever your religion is. There's a set of rules and there's a value system. And then below that's a sub-value system. Obviously the Catholic Church got immensely rich from a value system, which was a network effect of having churches and collecting money. Government is exactly the same. So that was missing from the internet communities, the final value layer that you and I have been talking about. And you now give this to a community. So now suddenly I can have ownership for being a community member. And I can derive value from being a member of that community. And if I add value to that, or the person at the middle of it, the influencer, the brand adds value, the value of my token is going to go up. and I can build a business on it. Maybe I sell t-shirts and I sell them for tokens, and we create an economy. That suddenly creates a whole layer of value that exists above equity. It's a whole different thing. It's the value of being a member. It's like, we see how, you're in London, you know what it's like with football clubs. People live and die by their club. That loyalty, the closer that they could get to their club, the better. If they can make decisions and be part of it and get early tickets and get to know which bar the team are drinking in once they've won the championship, whatever it is, right? That's immensely valuable because it makes you feel part of that community. And if that token has value as well, in a monetary sense, then you can invest in culture, which is mind-blowing. Because culture was a nascent thing. Yes, you could buy a pair of Nike trainers, but you had to buy the rare ones for it to go up. But this is different. And once you combine this with NFTs, non-fungible tokens, those are ways of also adding value to a community of, here's a scarce asset. I'm a rock star. Here's an album. One person can own it only. And here it is as an NFT. Or NFTs for tickets. We're going to sell our latest tour only using NFT ticketing. That means no Ticketmaster, no StubHub, and no scalpers at all. So you've knocked out all the high frequency traders, all of the egregious fees, and your direct ownership to your audience. So guess what? You can make the tickets cheaper, so everybody benefits. Or you keep the tickets the same price. And if you say to all token holders, if we have an 80% sellout tour, the last 20% will burn the tokens. So you're now incentivized to go and tell all your friends to go to the tour, because you're going to make money if they go to the event, right? This is genius. This is what I'm talking about, the power of this. So we're looking at it for Real Vision. We have a very passionate audience. I'm speaking to people from world's biggest music stars that have record labels and own IP, to media companies, and they're all going, oh my God, I see it coming now. What do we do? Meanwhile, Facebook is about to launch Diem. Diem is a stable coin, but they own it. It's on their platform. So it's basically a community token. It just doesn't go up and down in value with the value of the community. Facebook share price will, but they've now built a digital rails of value for Facebook. And you and I can pay each other in Diem, and we can buy goods. So they created a social token. So they're creating an economy. So think of that complex, adaptive society, how to orchestrate them and how to drive value. This tokenization is going to splinter the world into these things. And you and I, on our phones, will have our memberships and our communities and our investments and our DeFi and our identity all within this super secure wallet. And that is the way of the world. It's like the subscription model has been very powerful, but this is one stage further because it's subscription plus community. And if you can interact with that community and derive a shared sense of it, it's incredibly powerful.